this mic is...
I threw a peace sign and I never throw a peace sign. I done it because you done it. I was just like, who am I?
I'm a
I
bad,
don't do this.
Yeah, I'm a bad example. So this mic's super picky. You kind of have to get like real close to it.
on it. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
But gentlemen,
I love this.
the dads.
Just for clarity, we have the Manhattan telephone directory on top, the big
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. Subscribe to our YouTube so we can start making money on YouTube so that we can get some more mic stands. Because we are struggling. We are struggling. We're in the wild. This is it. You're literally in the wild with camo on. And we are here.
How'd you see him?
Yeah.
Your leg is
Are you
really
sure he's
soft,
there?
Thanks.
by the way.
Yeah. It's at a little table. We are here live, Maple Tree, for the first
Maple
ever
tree.
for the dads. In
This
the wild.
coffee's so good.
Yes. I think it's just where we should start. Check out the mug, though, obviously. Branding. Drink of choice. What'd you go with this morning, Nick?
Well, I got made fun of for it, but it's a cinnamon cappuccino.
Okay. What is a cappuccino?
I don't know.
All right. Next.
Yes.
I got a black coffee. Pretty tried and true. Don't really steer away from that.
Nope.
It's great.
Yeah.
How it comes out the pot.
It is how
It's
it comes out the
perfect.
pot. Yeah.
The way it was born.
Don't have to do much to it. And then we'll introduce our guest here in a second. But Ryan, what are you rocking
We
with?
went iced this morning. For some reason, maybe it's the warm weather that's been here, but I'm feeling a little icy. So we went with a natural tunnel latte, which is lavender honey, which I
Lavender
joked about
honey,
yesterday.
wow.
And then
Yeah,
they had
you
it,
did.
and I was like,
I'm
sounds
there.
good.
Yeah, that does.
Anything with lavender and honey, Ron is there. Noah.
I can get behind the honey portion. This is an Americano.
Nice. You know what Americano is?
Espresso with water.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're getting
Thanks for
there.
testing
It's
me.
coffee, but less coffee.
We're getting there. Okay. I think we should jump into it. We're going to be here for, what, like 2 hours or something?
Probably.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
if you're
great.
listening to this podcast...
Wait, should I text
lock
my
in.
wife? 2 hours?
Yeah. I told my wife one, but yeah. Have that conversation later.
Take a phone call.
Yeah, I need to take a phone
You
call.
see me step out.
We are here, and we have a guest, our first guest of the day,
Yeah.
a part of the Fifth Dad community. You want to introduce yourself, how many kids you have, and what you got this morning for coffee.
So I'm Seth Music. I am a relatively new dad. I've got a 2-year-old boy. So my drink of choice is just straight black coffee.
That's awesome.
Nothing fancy.
Nice.
So
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good.
How has daylight savings treated your 2-year-old?
he's wild as a buck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's fired up, man. So I don't know. A little bit of extra sleep for him, and
Yeah.
it stays dark a little bit longer, and he is
That's
also
true,
taking
right?
advantage of it.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yes.
It's like double darkness on top of the blackout curtains. It's like,
yeah.
sun ain't even up.
Yeah, that's helped Boston too. He slept till 10 the other day.
Whoa.
Wait,
Big
Wow.
sleeper.
I don't even know what that's like.
Yeah.
Well, it could be because I gave him Benadryl at 5 a.m.
All
I was like, I know the rest of the story.
All right.
Yeah.
Just
Well, he was sick. It's not like he just drugged him.
we talked about this last night.
Yeah.
DCS.
No, he had a cough, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Nick is a good dad.
I am, I promise.
Yeah, there's a, kind of a thread kind of going through all the podcasts where you're like, Nick's kind of shady.
Questionable.
I kind of toe the line a little bit.
He doesn't like
Yeah.
Christmas, so
He doesn't like Christmas.
yeah.
We won't go into the next thing that he does.
We don't need to make a list.
You're right.
There's
no
a lot of
CCS
really
is
good
somewhere.
things.
Yeah. We're really cool, Seth, for you being here. We actually go to church together. My daughter, Noah, loves your son. When she walks in, she goes, Uka, Uka, Uka. His name's Luca. She goes, Uka, 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 which is fun. Man, what is the best advice or the worst advice you were given before parenting, before marriage, before the whole shebang?
oh man. So best advice for me is just to be in the moment, and it's cliche, but like you all being like in marketing and stuff, it's all about like capturing the moment and stuff, and I kind of have a hard time with it too, putting the phone down and just enjoying being in the moment, not getting it through a screen, you know. And like yesterday we were at Dollywood, and
come on.
I caught myself,
Oh, wow.
you know, crazy. Yeah, I know we shouldn't have.
That's
We
awesome.
fought the chaos. It was wild. We didn't get in at first. Right? We got turned around at the gate. Parking's full.
man.
So That's
Wow.
another piece of advice. Be flexible, right? Like,
Yeah.
roll with the punches when you don't
That's
get
so
in,
good.
right?
Such a hard lesson, though, especially
is.
like for kids too. It's a toughie.
He was such a trooper too. He was so patient yesterday. Like, he just wanted to ride rides. So we hopped over to the island, hit a few rides at the
Nice.
island, and then went back to Dollywood late in the day. Got in, and he's on a ride, and I'm like filming it. You know, I'm getting the shot, and I was like, no, like put it down. Like, just enjoy being with him.
Good for you, bro.
You know, so
Yeah.
that to me has been one of the biggest things that I guess. I don't know if anybody gave me that advice beforehand, but like learning it through dadhood.
Yeah,
So,
that's amazing. That's amazing. It
Yeah,
reminds
being
me of
reminded
the,
of it.
Yeah.
Being reminded of it. We went to the park, and I was like, do we have our phone? Like, I want to take pictures of them. This was the other day. And Taylor's like, no, let's just enjoy this. I was like, yeah, you're right. We're fine. Yeah, you're right. Let's do
I
that.
struggle with that a lot because,
big media guy.
yeah, like, I mean, my jobs are so social media focused, and like that's all
Yeah.
I do, and it's like it's so hard for me to take myself out
I
of
think
that
it's hard
role.
too. Like this is when I want to bring the phone out. Is if I'm out with the family, and being that for work, we're always looking for pretty light. And like light is like the hardest thing to capture, and it sets the tone. And if I'm outside and I see awesome light, and my family happens to be, I'm like, oh my god! Hey, this morning
Stars align.
I took a great sunrise photo of my dog this morning, holding his tennis ball in his mouth. Oh, that's great. Just because it was like the light, and I was just like, I just gotta bring my phone out.
Bobo.
And it's Bo buddy.
We got to post that picture on our story.
Yeah. It's
cute.
Big Bo. Yeah, that's really good. It reminds me of any Office fans? Are you an Office fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Office fan.
without a doubt.
Yeah, when Jim and Pam are on their way to get married, and they're like, "Hey, we have to like capture every moment." They didn't really have like the capability of cell phones, and they were like, they did that like in their brain,
Right.
which is like super cool. So it's like wanting to do that. But I think there's a sweet tension there because I mean, Lev just turned 6 this week, and we were looking through baby videos where he was doing something really silly. So I was like super thankful in those moments that we had that stuff. But I think it's a good thing. You don't want your kids to look up and always see you like,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
hurts my soul.
Yeah.
But to that point, can I just tell you this morning I had a tearful dad moment because, the iPhone, you'll just pull out your phone and it's like, memories, 2019. And you're like,
right
oh
now?
no, you're going to make me cry right now? And it hit me this morning with my daughter who, as I've talked about, like, my struggle is she's just getting to that next phase of life. She's like a preteen. She's 11 right now, but it's like happening so fast. To take a look back when she was like 7 and 8 and just how much she's changed. It was like I showed my wife and we were both just like, oh my gosh. It was such a cool reminder too, though. So I mean, there is like that positivity of like, wow, I really get this like quick moment to just reflect and be grateful, and it kind of gave me some clarity on where I am today. To be like, hey, she's changing, but look at she's always been changing.
Yeah.
deep.
So,
It's a good word.
I was at a this is off topic, but I was at a basketball game. It was for one of my kids. I don't remember which kid, but one of the parents
For a moment.
Poor Nick.
one,
Y'all pray for Nick.
They were all there, so it's like,
one of the parents in front of me recorded the entire game on their cell phone, and I'm like,
yeah.
what kind of storage plan do you have on that thing?
That's insane.
She's recording 4K like video of this whole entire basketball game.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
insane.
why? Are you going to go back and watch film of this?
No, yeah, they're sitting in the bed. They're like, "Yo, you walked right here. Can you like clean it up?"
Listen, hustle.
Here, let me brush it back a little bit. Buffer. Yeah.
He's 6, and they're already putting together that recruiting video. That's what it is.
Yeah. The next Cooper flag is coming out of Kingsport. Yeah, for sure. Wow, that's awesome. Well, Seth, let's see. I have to ask this, but who's your favorite dad on the podcast?
Oh, man, I was hoping it was
don't
just
go
like
there,
dad of
don't
all
go there.
time.
Oh, man.
Left it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. I'm going to go with Nick.
Be careful.
I'm going to go with Nick. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Nick's so
hear
happy
it.
right now. That was
Let's hear it.
tight.
Let's
Yeah,
hear why.
please tell me
Yeah.
why that is.
Give me the list.
As
Man,
he
I don't
forgets
know.
what basketball game he was at.
Dude,
Look at him. Put your pinky up.
I guess I'm going to stroke Nick's ego. Nick's like Uber dad, though, man.
How's that?
my
How is
gosh.
that cinnamon cappuccino over there?
Honestly,
Do you
it's
have
too
to
hot to
drink
drink
it?
right now.
That means it's good.
I
It is
burnt-
hot.
I burned my tongue
That
the
means
first
it's good.
drink, so.
Okay.
Sorry, Seth. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's
Cut you
good.
Trying to, like, the time, balancing, finding time, having
Yeah.
all these boys, man, and like going a million different directions, especially like once they get into sports and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like I'm in a time crunch right now with 1 2-year-old, and he ain't even in any kind of organized sports. I'm like, what is this going to be whenever we get into sports, if we add another kid, like, man, finding that time balance, it's impressive.
Have you listened to episode 6 yet?
Yeah. Yeah, just might want to hold that thought.
Your opinion might change a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think to go off that though is like one thing that I love about Nick being a dad, and obviously too his wife being so awesome, is that like all of the boys are good dudes. Like they're just awesome kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like I think a lot of times I'm always like, man, the more I have, is it like, am I going to have less time to kind of correct or discipline or whatever it may be? And hopefully they turn out to be okay. And and I just love the intentionality that your boys have, even to like Noah. Like Baylor's just like on her level. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you have 4. Yeah, you guys are doing an amazing job.
I think that's one thing
Braylon.
that I get scared of, or like, we talked about our fears as a dad, and like one of my fears is where there are 4 of them, it's hard. It makes it that much harder to like, because you want to make sure they're like doing the right things and saying the right things to people and like treating people good and like, I don't know, just being good humans.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's that many more people to try to teach to be a good human. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, it just adds more pressure, but it's so fun. Like,
It's a good weight to carry.
it's so fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bray's always like so kind to Luca. Like he's always coming over, like giving him a high five, or like if Bray's got a ball and like Luca's wanting to play, like he'll let him play with it for a minute. Yeah, Luca's not gonna. He's just gonna throw it and roll it, But I mean, he's always so kind, and it's like Bray's at that age where like you can see parenting like rubbing off, like Lev. Lev is so nice. He's like so kind as well, and so it's awesome. You can start to see the parents' influence in the kids at that point. So it's a great thing.
That's
You guys
amazing.
do a great job,
Yeah,
man.
Ryan, you mentioned the report cards that you care
Yeah.
about are the ones where you get a report from somebody at school or a
Right.
parent who says your child said this or your child did this
Yeah,
at
yeah, that's
school,
what matters
or,
right there.
and it just makes you so happy.
Yeah, that's great.
Fire. Well,
C's get degrees.
Yeah, but listen,
Yeah.
if you're a jerk, nobody's going to want to work with you. Be
Exactly.
a friend. Like, none of that.
Be a good human.
yeah. How do they love people when I'm not in the room? Yeah, that's a really good thing. Well, Seth, thank you so much
Yeah,
for jumping
absolutely,
in.
fellas.
Yeah,
Appreciate y'all having me.
yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck.
It's fun.
in the parenting
Good luck.
journey with Luca, and we're with you, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thank y'all.
appreciate you. Yeah,
Holler
see
at
ya.
your dads.
Thanks, Seth.
Okay, so I think as he's leaving, I think what we can do is kind of go around wins, losses as
Sure.
dads, what we're doing right now. Yeah, anybody want to start? Anything awesome happened this week, or anything like super just awful?
Dude, I got a really nice hug from my son this week. That was pretty great. I took my daughter to gymnastics, so I was gone for a little bit, and he just said, "I missed you." I got a nice big hug when I came home, and I think I was like telling Nick, I was like, "Man, that just filled me up that night."
Yeah.
Because I
Got that oxytocin.
know, yeah. Mom gets a lot of but this time it was like, "Dad, I missed you."
Yeah, come on.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
buddy.
huge dub. That's a huge dub. What about you, Noah?
Man, I don't know. I guess it's a win. I had a successful time watching Brooks and parenting him by myself. So I got to
Nice.
experience what it was
Solo.
like to be a single dad. So
Yeah.
Taylor went on a work conference on Sunday morning. She left and got back Tuesday night. So I was with him for a good chunk of time by myself. So I got to find out a lot about myself and find out a lot about him. But I think it was a win because it was a success where I was able to figure out just some things that I can do better as a dad. And then I got to see a lot of things that Taylor does that I take for granted.
That's what I was thinking
really
right away.
good.
It's like
And
you learn, you're like,
I
"Oh,
mean,
this
she
is
is
what."
just such a good mom, and it shows you just how important their role is, and almost that it's the main thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Why do you think my kids are so good? Everybody's
Very-
bragging on my kids. It's
That's
because of my
right,
wife,
right.
not me.
Dad's an
Right.
auxiliary component.
I think it was a very humbling couple of days. It was very humbling, but also I got to see another side of the coin of Taylor is just a super mom, and all the things that she does that I don't see without her being there. You don't notice that until she's gone.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I take them for granted, but it's just I don't know.
Easy to overlook.
It's easy to overlook. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Just like little things that you don't see, like having his bag packed before daycare, and I'll wash, you know, the cups and things like that to help out. But I mean, if you don't have that packed the night before, and you're trying to get him ready in the morning, and I leave early at I leave at 5:30, so it's like she drops him off at daycare every day, so I leave before he wakes up. So like I had to restructure that whole process of what that looked like. So that was really difficult, but it was a really awesome time. And I don't know, I had to figure things out on my own.
I got a question for you. What was on the dad menu? What did you make? Because this is usually kind of a joke, because whenever Alyssa leaves, it's like pizza rolls, pizza, any form of pizza, the way you can eat it. That's on the dad menu.
So
Bagel bites.
Bagel bites.
we've kind of got we've got our meals planned
nice.
throughout
That's
the week.
so clutch.
Genius.
And-
See,
But here's the thing: it sounds like it's in order and we've got things together, but we don't. I think we're able to do it because we've got one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we don't have activities. Like, he's on a pretty good routine and schedule. So at this point in our life, we're trying to make it as convenient and as possible. So we'll have everything kind of laid out in the fridge. We'll have like the recipe or whatever that we have to do. And then the one day though, I did go into survival mode. I just got like this prepackaged. They're like called Little Spoons.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's like a prepackaged meal, and it's supposed to be healthy, but
It's like a factory meal for babies.
we're only supposed to use them for his lunches, because it's kind of like how we meal prep that. But I was like, I'm doing it. I got
break it in the stash.
I got in the freezer. I just threw it in the microwave.
Break it into the stash.
And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out another day. So I got that thing heated up, gave it to him. So I kind of broke the course, but it does help, like where we do have it planned out a little bit. But I don't know, he lost his mind. He would go 0 to 100 real quick if he does not have food or milk or whatever.
So do I.
Yeah, so
Same, brother,
but,
same.
but
Feel you, dog.
but yeah, sometimes you are just like, all right, snacks.
Dude,
Here.
for sure.
Whatever it is.
Anytime like Megan's gone, I feel like I don't know why, it like a switch flips, and I'm like, I want to be, and Megan's told me, it's like, you don't have to go over the top all the time for the kids when you spend time with them. And I was like, but I want to.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be like the crazy fun dad, and we're going to go out to like lunch, and like, I'm a experienced kind of person. I'm like, let's go to like, I don't know, I can't think of anything. Let's go bowling. Let's go to the arcade and play video games. Like, let's go like do something, you know? And I try to like amp it up. But
That's awesome.
whatever. That's cool. That's a little bit
any
different.
form of pizza that you can eat, that's what's on my menu. And fries, chicken nuggets, air fryer, anything I can throw in an air fryer. That's what I'm making.
Yeah.
But I would say for me, I just heard a little no in the background. For me, I think a huge dub this week is my son turned 6. He had a birthday this week, which was crazy. Yeah, happy birthday, Lev. Little dad clap.
That's awesome.
Love you, Lev.
Love you, Lev. Hey, baby.
Hey, Noah.
Come over here, girl.
Look at this.
Get over here.
Come
We
here.
have a seat for you.
Come here, girlie.
We have a seat just for you.
You want to sit with Daddy or you want to sit in the seat? Oh, you don't?
She's like, I want my
she said no.
snacks. that Mom's
She saw the
about to
mic.
get.
She bounced. She's like, no shot. It was just really crazy to like think about like. We were thinking about like when we found out like Alyssa was pregnant with him, and then like trying to prepare for him, and then how crazy life was like with just him, and then it's just crazy just like to reflect and think about the little dude he's becoming. And he started baseball too, coach's pitch. And he's loving that, which
heard
is
about
awesome.
that.
Huh?
Yeah.
We heard about that.
Yeah, I love
We've
it.
seen the
Training
evidence.
Yeah, okay, guys. But with a coach that can actually pitch, so he's getting better by the day
he
instead of
move
hanging out and digressing. So
He knows not to hit on those foul balls.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just really cool to do that. We're gonna have a birthday party this weekend, and it's Pokemon themed. I think I've said it's really cool when your kids get into things that you really liked when you were a kid. We've been
Are
through
Pogs going to make a comeback?
the what?
Y'all old enough for Pogs?
Pogs.
Thank you.
Pogs.
We got a dad in the back.
We got a dad in the back.
Yeah.
With a G, Pogs.
Yeah.
Pogs.
Y'all never had like slammers? Yeah, for sure. Pogs are way past your time, you guys.
Before my time. I
Okay,
think.
quick explainer, dude. You had these awesome little cardboard circles with like really cool graphics on them, and you'd collect them in these little tubes, and you would stack them. You'd play against somebody, and you'd stack them up, and you'd have slammers, which were like made out of metal. They were like heavy,
this up.
and these bad boys were like holographic looking,
Whoa.
dude. Your slammers were like nice, dude. They're so sick. Mine had like, you know, like two dolphins like circling each other, like
locked
something
in.
crazy like
He's locked
that,
in.
like interdimensional. And you take your slammer after your pogs were all stacked up, and they'd be face down, your
I've never
pogs,
seen
and
this.
you'd slam
I
them.
was Googling it.
And you hit those pogs, that little stack, and if they flip over face up, whatever's face up, you get a keep.
Oh, is it kind of like the
If you're
Squid
playing for
Games?
keeps.
Is it kind of like the Squid Games?
It's like
I don't.
What is
It's
that
a
one
split
called?
competition. I could get behind that.
dude.
Have y'all seen
you'd
Squid
have
Games?
like even this
No.
cool like circle little
Some battle
platform.
royale.
No,
Oh,
have
yeah.
you seen Squid Games?
Yeah.
So the last season they did that. It sounds like that, like where you slap or you throw the thing down and it flips over.
Yeah.
You win.
Okay.
Dude, they got pogs on Squid Games.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Dude,
Pogs.
I'm watching Squid
Have you
Games.
watched Squid Games?
It was similar.
Similar.
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like
Yeah.
the same concept.
Dad's in the peanut
Can you
gallery
believe
helping
they
us out.
brought back pogs for Squid Games?
Seth, come back.
That's a deep. Yes, Seth, we need your input.
So yeah,
Seth's in the corner.
We've been
helping us
through.
out.
Lev's been through the Power Ranger phase, the Hot Wheels phase. And
Yeah.
we're going now into Pokemon phase. Like it's awesome. Cool. What about somebody else? One last win, and then we'll invite another dad to the crew.
Yeah.
Did you forget about me?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's
Go
why I
ahead.
said one
That's
more.
why I said one more
last.
dad, brother. Like
One
I'm
more.
It's
Anybody?
Yeah, I'm looking back at the books, saying like they're gonna talk to us. Jeez Louise.
So last night Bray played in the City League Championship game for basketball,
Dang.
Come on.
Nice.
which honestly we did not expect to happen because the season we lost 4 games straight. Our first 4 games we lost.
What was the turning point in the season to get them?
It was
back
after that
around?
4th game.
They'd had enough.
Fired the coach. Got a new one in there.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, like last night we were getting destroyed. Like we lost by 26.
Oh,
But right before the 4th quarter, I challenged them. I'm like, the way you play in this 4th quarter says a lot about your character.
Yeah.
like from
You
the
know.
stands. You're coaching? Are you coaching?
Yeah, I'm one of the coaches.
You're just like screaming from the stands.
Listen
Time to lock in, gang. Time to lock in.
Inspirational speech from the bleachers.
It's like, who was that guy in this screaming at our kids? Sorry, bro. I missed that information if you shared that.
I have it. I just
Okay.
honestly, the head coach like held a gun to my head and said, "I need you to help me, coach." So I kind of just started helping. Like, anyway, I was super proud of Bray
Yeah.
because of the way he played. Everybody else was just hanging their head, being lazy, not diving for balls, not playing defense. And he was just out there just giving it full 100% effort.
Come on now.
The other team had this one kid who scores like 40 points a game. Like he's legit.
Dang.
And nobody wanted to
Dude
guard
needs
him.
to play up.
Yeah, he doesn't
I
need to
think
be
you
in
need
that
to level
league.
up. Yeah.
He
not
plays. He
having
plays
to-
for the middle school team, but
Yeah.
I don't know why he plays for this league too. But he does, and nobody wanted to guard him. And Bray stepped up and was just like making his life miserable. So it was just
That's
cool to
awesome.
see
Yeah,
like
Bray.
the resilience and like
Slapping the
even though
floor.
we were getting killed, like we weren't going to win that game, but it just shows me a lot about the character of the kids, how they play
Yeah.
in that fourth
great.
quarter.
That's
That's
amazing,
cool.
dude. That's
That,
so sick.
That dude sounds like Mac in the G League.
Yeah,
Seriously, this kid needs to play up.
He needs to play
Yeah.
up. Get him to the NBA.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's
That's
cool
amazing.
though. That's awesome that
Yeah.
and that comes from you setting that standard early on too.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Because it just doesn't snap in that one game, right? I'm sure he played like that throughout the year.
Yeah, he even hit a 3-pointer. He had 5 points.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think he's maybe scored 2 points all year, and he had 5 points that game.
That's so cool.
Yeah, baby.
Come here, girl. You want to sit with me?
we got a family in the
Yeah,
building.
we got
got-
family. We got
that's
kids
Jared.
running. Yeah,
That's
that's
Jared.
Jared. He's one
Yeah.
of the dads. Hey, Kevin. Next dad up.
We got a dad
You ready?
coming in hot.
Let's do this.
All right.
His
Plop
caffeine
it
is
down.
flowing by now.
Let's give
Oh,
a
yeah.
round of
Is
applause
the
for
coffee
Kevin.
hitting?
Dad clap for Kevin.
Hey.
Welcome, Kevin, to the podcast.
Thank you
is
very much.
such
It's
a
good to be
solid
here.
dad
Yeah.
name. It's such a solid dad name, Kevin.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This guy rips, dude. He's legit. Okay, Kevin. Would love for you to tell us your name, how many kids you got, and the best or worst advice you've ever received as a parent or a husband.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that I was gonna be quizzed.
Oh yeah, no, it gets quiz fast.
That
This will go on social media, so be careful.
Yeah. I mean, this is not what I signed up for when I woke up this morning.
Well, welcome.
But
You're
I'm
here.
happy to be here.
Yeah, you're here.
My name is Kevin Cox, and I have 2 kids. I have 2 girls. They're 7 and 8, soon to be 7 and 9.
Nice.
You know, I don't really know. I can't remember any advice I received before I had kids. I got some good advice from some friends that I went to church with when my kids were little, and they have 4 girls, and he said, you know the river, you know the stones in the river. If you throw a stone in the river, it might be sharp, but once it's in the river for a long time, it'll be a smooth stone. And he said, parenting's kind of like that.
Wow.
It's a good way to smooth all the sharp spots away, and after you've been a parent for a while, you'll be a smooth stone, a smooth stone in the currents of the river.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's poetic.
That is
I
very
like that.
poetic. Wow.
Yeah.
That's like too deep for me to even think about right now.
We needed that actually.
too early in the
That's
morning.
great.
I don't know if any of us are really old enough to say that we're
I'm still a little
smooth
sharp.
stones
Yeah.
in the river.
I'm
Still a
definitely a little
rigid.
rigid on the
Um,
edges.
You know, we need maybe we need a dad whose kids graduated college, and
Yeah,
and,
definitely need one of those guys to show up.
but we're on our way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the current,
Yeah.
Yep.
and we're rolling around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Kevin, you're a
Knocking
golfer.
into stuff.
I'm a bad golfer.
Okay, but
Okay,
you're a different
let's,
type
let's just
of
set
golfer.
the scene, though.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
just set the scene.
Okay, go ahead.
Me and
You all
Michael.
had this planned before I came on.
No,
Define
actually
bad.
we didn't, but you brought it up, Michael, so I'm going to go there. We're playing 9 holes at Scott County
Shout out to
course,
Augusta on the Hill, Scott
which
County.
is very hilly if you've never been there. And we're riding along on number 1. And
In
we
a cart.
In
We're
a
in a cart.
We're in
Yeah.
a cart. And we see this guy.
What were your kids doing? It was a dad's podcast.
They were
They were
at home
being
enjoying
taken care of
quality
by-
time with their mom.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Anyway, we see Kevin. We see this man that we don't know is Kevin yet, running down the hill with 3 clubs in his hand. Was it 3?
Maybe 4. Yeah.
So he had 4 clubs in his hand.
Yeah.
Didn't even have a bag.
No.
He's playing speed golf
Yeah.
on foot with 4
Sprinting.
clubs.
Dude, is that a sport yet?
It is.
Yeah, it is professional.
And then
that
he
sounds
he
cool.
comes up to us and he's
I'm
like,
interested now.
he's like, "May I pass you?" And
We're like, absolutely, bro.
Absolutely, brother, go for it. He's like trying to set the world record for fastest round of golf played ever.
And it's
on
insane
foot.
because like he lines up. You know, we're all like chit chatting, talking about. I don't even know. He lines up, hits it. The ball hasn't even hit the ground. He's picking up his clubs and chasing the ball down. And I'm like the guy that's like sit there and I'm like, let me watch it for a second. Where's it going? It's going right. It's going right. He's just like, no, we're running. And
I think he got to his ball before it hit the ground.
I think he could have. The dude's
Yeah.
got wheels. You're like a gazelle out there.
Speed golf's really fun.
I've
Yeah.
never seen anybody play golf
So,
like that. It was
so
really
is this
cool.
something you picked up after being a dad? Because you're like,
Yeah.
I want to maximize my dad time.
Yeah, I've only been playing golf for about 3 years.
Okay.
So I didn't play golf as a kid. I ran cross country as a kid, and
Okay.
I just felt like golf takes a really long time.
Yes, it does.
But I enjoy it. So one way to make it take less time is to run.
Yeah, there you go.
And come to find out, that's a sport. And Scott County
Whoa.
Golf Club is a great place to do this because
Hilly, yeah. Like you're saying.
there's usually not that many people there.
Right.
And you can go times when it's not crowded. And
Yep.
you can just go.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. You get a good exercise. Sometimes I walk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Kevin,
do you
we'll,
always?
we'll play Kevin.
Yeah.
See,
That's how
Nick's
we get
wanted
Ryan
me
in.
to play golf, and I've
That's
been
how we
saying
get Ryan
no.
in, bro.
Okay.
But-
We'll ride in the cart and he just runs.
You run alongside us, Ryan. That's the plan.
Dude, that's how we get you in.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. So in speed golf, you take the number of strokes and you add them to the number of minutes that it took you, and that's your score.
Whoa.
So the world's best speed golfers can play. They can, shoot even par, so that's around 70, and they can play
Freaks.
18 holes in under an hour, in maybe 40 minutes,
Brother.
38
Oh,
minutes. So
goodness.
for a total score of
like 110.
just over 100, yeah.
Oh my god.
So they almost break 100 running.
Running.
And I can't break 100 with a cart.
Yeah, for sure. Some of these people, they will beat scores that I've posted, on a regular day
Okay,
with a
yeah.
cart. They will.
If you're willing, what's the best score on 18 that you've ever gotten running through?
I've never speed golfed 18.
Oh, okay. What about 9?
I have shot bogey golf,
nice.
and I can do it in up there at Scott County, 45 minutes.
Wow.
50 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Scott County's not one of those like a cattails where it's just flat.
I haven't broken bogey. It's probably 48. You know,
it is uphill.
We're maybe looking at a 48 with.
Holy.
So you're
cow.
breaking 50.
I can break 50. Yeah, with 4 or 5.
That's
clubs.
insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Okay. Anybody else having a question for Kevin? I mean, we have him.
Yeah, what's the worst dad advice you've ever gotten?
Oh, the worst dad advice.
If you've ever gotten any bad advice.
You know, I've always thought parenting books were hit or miss, just in general. It's good to do research.
Yeah.
That's my job. I'm a researcher.
Oh, cool.
Physics researcher, and you read everything. You hear a lot of things. I think, you know, of everything I've heard, you apply a good layer of common sense. In terms of the worst advice I've ever gotten, I probably just forgot it. I don't have anything.
Flushed it.
That's good. That's a good thing.
I mean, like the worst advice is just taking something that's general from a self-help book
Maybe.
and just going, this is going to fit exactly into my
Yeah.
life.
To every kid I have.
Yeah, you're like,
in
no,
every
probably
season,
not.
in every
Right.
situation.
Yeah, don't hold yourself
Well,
to that
and yeah, I
standard.
mean, I think every kid's different. You know, I'm sure you all talked about how all your kids are different. All kids are different.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have a great dad. He always let me and my sister are totally different. He always let us be ourselves, and he was humble about, you know, not trying to force his methods onto us all the time.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
I try to emulate that a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
Solid.
amazing, man. That's awesome. Well, Kevin,
Kevin.
thank you so much.
It was great
Let's
to
give
be
a dad
here.
clap for Kevin.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Kevin.
That was
Yeah,
way to
really
go,
good.
dads. Keep
You're
up the
rock.
good
Really
work.
good.
Thanks,
Thank
Kevin.
you.
Thanks
I'll
for
see you
telling
out
me.
on the golf course soon, okay?
In a cart. That's
I'll
where
have
you
a-
catch me, bro. In a cart. In a cart. Okay. Let's see.
I think
What
Jared's
else?
ready whenever.
Oh, Jared's ready.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared's there.
Right.
Jared,
J-Ron.
come down, bro. I can't wait to tell the story of how I met Jared. This is cool. Super cool. Go ahead, take a seat, big dog.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
What's your
Jared's
drink
got
of
that
choice
big
this
dad
morning? What is
coffee right
that?
there.
Oh. So
Bang.
I realized I brought a energy drink to a coffee shop, but you know.
Yeah, we won't tell Maple Tree. Okay. Well, Jared, we actually met literally the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me and Jared got to speak at this really cool youth pastor kind of get together about the bright side of technology and the dark side of technology. I got to speak about how to be redeeming in that space and how to, you know, be a light on social media, and it was super cool. And then Jared, I'll let you share a little bit about what you do for a living. Got up with his partner and shared a little bit about the darkness of technology. But after that, what was really cool was we were getting some barbecue, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, like I follow you on social media," and I was like, "All right," you know.
We were just talking about the perils
I
of
was
this,
like,
but-
"All right." So I will say he's a detective. I was like, "Okay," like you know, like
Oh no.
what does that mean? But he was like, "No, like I'm a dad. Like I follow the dad podcast," and I was like, "Yo!" Like he's the first, I think, dad in the wild, I think, that I've met. And so, Jared, I'd love for you to share kind of a little bit about what you do, kind of what you shared about a little bit, and then you could talk about, how many kids you have, best worst advice you've ever received,
Yeah.
all the good stuff.
I'm a detective at the local sheriff's office, and so what my job is I'm on a Internet Crimes Against Children task force.
Wow.
So what that means is I'm in a group of guys and girls that arrest pedophiles and stuff like that. So part of that job is informing people, hey, this is how you be safe and protect your kids. And so like the parent company or who gives us cyber tips is the National Center of
Missing and exploited children.
Yes, missing exploited children. So whenever they provide us these tips, it gives us basic information, and the best way I can describe it is you get a grain of sand and you're going to build a sandcastle out of this. So
Wow.
it's just little breadcrumbs of information, and so it's very exciting, and it's like you get a whisper of something, and then next thing you know everything about that person.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
where they work, how many kids are in the home. I mean, all that can be attained through resources that are available through law enforcement. But it's just it's very exciting.
How long you been doing that?
So I started in September of last year. Before that, I was a school resource officer.
Nice.
So a lot of, I've got a daughter and 2 stepkids. So all of them, well, my daughter's getting ready to start high school, and the rest of them are in high school. So, that gave me a little bit of an insight of what to expect as far as
Yeah.
high school age kids. And a lot of the kids nowadays are social media and stuff. So back in the 90s, it was 19 million people that were connected to the internet. Now we've got billions of people connected to the internet.
Yes.
Here we are on the internet.
Yeah,
So,
literally.
right
now.
so
That's intense.
if we can inform people how to be safe on the internet, or teach your kids how to be safe on the internet, it's going to help my job easier. It's going to protect kids.
Yep.
So, and I can speak more on that whenever the time comes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was telling him I think it'd be really cool for us to do like a whole episode where he kind of comes in, one to inform us of
agree.
like how to protect our
Yes.
kids really young, going into
Yes,
high
I know.
school. Like, what does it look like to lovingly protect our kids from whatever it may be out there? And so I think that's definitely a future episode, Jared, that we want to have you on. Really
Can I-
thankful. Go
Can I
ahead.
ask him a question?
Absolutely, hit him.
So, my son is 11. He's about to turn 12. He's going to be in middle school next year. And every day he comes home, he's like, so-and-so got a phone. And so-and-so got a phone today. And all of his friends are getting phones. And I'm just like trying to push that down the road as far as I can, know? And I don't want to be that dad that's like so strict, that he never gets a phone until he's 18. But at the same time, I want to protect him as long as I can from that world.
I think, I'm in Nick's same boat too, and it's like that fear of the unknown, right? Like, okay, like not everything on a phone is bad, but like once I give it to you, it's a bit of Pandora's box. Like once you open that, like I don't want you to have access to everything because they're not technology literate yet.
Yeah, not yet.
So like what are those tools that I need to know? And that's like where I think we both want to push it off, is like, it's such a big topic and there's so much to learn from it that it's like, man, if I can just push that down the road, that'd be great.
We'll talk about it later.
I guess my question is like, in your opinion, when is it
acceptable.
acceptable to give them a cell phone?
So a little bit about me is a few years ago I went through a divorce, and iPhones, you can FaceTime and stuff. So I was like, I've got to be able to talk to my daughter. I want to be able to see her. So I went ahead and went with the route of getting our iPhone. And I don't regret it because, and like I said, I can talk more about this on a future episode, but if you can provide some sort of stability with your kid, to where they're not feeling unsure themselves, or teach them responsibility, and it could be something small like, hey, I've got this green light card. I know that's more for like a middle school age kid, but hey, I put $20 on this, or even a gift card. I've got $20 on this gift card, and you're going to be responsible about it. you're not going to spend it all on Roblox or whatever it is. So just kind of teach them some budget stuff, and that's something that's not really taught in school.
I'm still learning.
That's awesome. Yeah.
You know, I'm 38, and here I am. I'm like, I got $20 to last 3 weeks. No, I think to answer your question, there's a lot of technology out nowadays. It's I was scrolling through social media and something popped up, and something I'm kind of familiar with. It's called Bark Technologies. It's something that's used in the school system over in Tennessee. If, like, say a student sends an email and they reference a gun or talk about something sexual or something like that, then it sends an alert to the administrators. Hey, this student sent this email, and it actually provides the email. So I think Bark Technologies is kind of going along that route with cell phones, so it lets the kid know, let the parent know this is what they're talking about, or this is who they're talking to, and also sends copies of the text messages and call logs and stuff like that.
Nice.
So
Some accountability and monitoring.
That is really cool.
Yeah. And not specifically if you want to go with Bark Technology. So it's like if you got an iPhone, let's say you want to get an iPhone, set it up to where they got parental controls. Like if they want to download an app, in my experience being a detective, this one lady said, well, my kid don't have Snapchat. I was like, well, they do. And one thing that you can kind of trust but verify, I always want to trust my kid but verify it. Go to their app store and say you've got kids that are middle school or high school, whatever, and you want to look at what they've downloaded, like what kind of apps or whatever. Go to their app store and look and see what kind of apps that they've downloaded, and that's just a quick, hey, this is, they've got a calculator app that has to where you can download and store pictures that are hidden. I mean, it looks like a regular calculator.
Wow.
So,
That's
and it's as simple as putting in a passcode and boom, there's all your hidden pictures. So look at the app store and say, hey, this don't look right, and get on your phone and be like, what is this app? And so
it's like communication
I know
and
you ain't doing
transparency.
that math homework, boy.
there's a lot of apps that are out there
Wow,
now.
we need you for over an hour. One day. We would love for you to come back.
And I think too, like, just practical wisdom, I think especially for somebody, that maybe has a younger kid, that the road, like for me, is me and my wife are actually starting to have conversations with Lev about, like, hey, there's some things on the internet, there's some things on YouTube that, like, aren't good for you. Or, hey, if you ever see something that looks like this or looks like, come to me, go to a teacher, like already starting this, like, conversation of responsibility and to where you're not just kind of like holding them back to where it's like, no, everything's good, everything's peachy, and then they get, they see the whatever it is, and then it's like, oh wait, everything's not peachy. And so we're starting to, like, already have those conversations, not to the graphic extent that they are, but little just nuggets. And I heard somebody say one time, a lot of people try to share information with their kids like through a water hose. So, like, all at one time, here is everything you need to know about yada yada yada, where wisdom would say actually, like, drops of water throughout a long period of time to fill a bucket up of, like, okay, I'm trying to build a narrative around, like, in Lev's head of, like, this is what is happening in the world. There are people that are bad. Stay with mommy at the store because we just don't know. We just have no idea. And so, not to scare him, but to take your kids into the store. There's a detective here now. You better lock in, bro.
Have you listened to episode 6 yet?
Which one is that one?
The latest one.
You would know.
The Lost Kid.
Yes.
No.
The Lost Kid episode, not episode 6.
We just rename it. Nick lost his child.
That's cool.
Bobby
man.
lost.
That is cool.
Okay, well, thank you. I'd love for you to share maybe the best advice or the worst advice you've ever received from him.
So funny, we're in a bookshop. So One guy that I follow on social media, it's called John Deloney. He has wrote some fantastic books, so I'd encourage everybody. And he speaks a lot on anxiety. And my experience from being at school resource, there's a ton of anxiety out there. So if a parent can understand anxiety a little bit, that's just it's gonna be like that trigger, like, hey, something's going on. And he talks about anxiety being kind of like a fire alarm. You hear that fire alarm going off, and there's smoke. There's something going on, and you can go up and turn off that fire alarm, but there's still smoke. Your house is still on fire.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good word.
So, hearing that fire alarm going off, you've got to address the issue. You can't just turn it off. So he talks a little bit about ways to combat that, and man, I would really encourage everybody to listen to his podcast or read his book. Man,
what's it called again?
His name is John Deloney.
Okay.
Yeah. I've heard of him. He's also on the Ramsey show.
Yeah.
And
He's tied in
Dr.
with
John
Ramsey.
Deloney. Yeah, he's good.
Nice.
But,
I do like his stuff.
But also another thing that I'd heard the other day, and it was talking about overthinking. And it was a book that referenced this. I think it was a kid and a donkey. They were walking through a forest, and they couldn't see the other side of the forest. And the kid talked to the donkey and was like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to get through this forest. And the donkey looked at him and said, can you see your next step? And I thought that was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
It's not the adventure, it's the next step that you get to your goal. So as far as parenting goes, man, you can always have these goals, and you're like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I don't know how I'm gonna get my kid to have an A's, or it's not about the end goal, it's how you get there. So I think
great.
that was pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I think of like Noah, like he's got a young one, and those dads that are just having newborns, like in that stage, your head feels so foggy, and everything you're just like in a fog of just trying to survive. And so it feels like, how when is this stage going to be over, because there's so many challenges that go with that stage. Lack of sleep, affects everything. And that's good to remember. It's just like, take that next step and just survive that day and just keep going.
Well, Michael, you just asked me, like, well, hey, what are your wins and losses? And I'm like, every time we come across this, I'm just like,
I woke up this morning and Brooks is alive.
It's like going back, and it's just a blur a lot of days, and it's like, slow down, take one step, remember how good that one step is, and just, take all that in and enjoy that moment. That's so good, man. Thank you so much.
So good.
I can't thank you enough for jumping in this seat.
Appreciate it. It's awesome.
It's good.
One more thing from John Deloney. I saw this on the way, well, not on the way over here, but I was getting ready to leave, and I saw this, and it says, never yell at your kids, never scream at your spouse, never raise your voice in your home. Yelling and screaming is an adult temper tantrum. It's a sign that you've lost control and are resorting to intimidation instead of leadership.
Yikes. Whoa.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel attacked.
He brings some good fire there. That's great, man. Thanks for sharing that.
it says children yell and scream, kick and scream. Mature adults do not. Period. I thought that was.
It's hard to take your ego out of
Yeah.
it.
Thank you for
That's
sharing
what
that.
like,
That's the thing,
like a yell and a
pride.
scream from a dad is like, that's your ego.
Yeah,
Like you
pride.
feel hurt. Yeah, pride.
I mean,
Oof.
it's not only you see that reaction. It's like they tense up, And I remember being a kid. It's like you go into defense mode, and you're like, you don't know what to do. So any information that you get thereafter, it's useless. So if you
That can be traumatizing too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
if you can
do permanent
if you can
damage
be
to a
like,
kid.
hey, it's okay. You know, you learned. It's. I mean, I'm figuring it out. You're figuring it out. We'll do it together.
Yeah.
So
That's really good.
I'll say this too, and it goes on the lines that even when you're talking about yelling, but with Brooks being a year, when we're going through his bedtime routine, if we're rushing through it or we look like we're panicking because he's going to have a meltdown, he
picks up on it.
Picks up on it and he panics.
Oh yeah.
So when we slow everything down and just ease into his bedtime routine, it goes a lot better for everybody. Even if he starts to panic, and that's not even the yelling part, but he can sense. But I'm like, hey, get this, or you know, and he can sense it at that age. It's so true, and I know when you get older, especially. But
Yeah.
that's awesome that you mentioned that.
They
Thank
mirror
you.
that
They mirror it.
that behavior. So
Yeah. Even at that age, it's tough.
life's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Don't make it tougher for him. Yeah, that's good. Jared,
Jared.
thanks so
for
much,
having
buddy.
me.
Jared,
Thanks,
thanks,
man.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate
hope
you so
to-
much.
It's good to see you.
Hope to have you again on a
Thanks,
future
man.
episode. Appreciate
sir.
what you do, man, for
See
our
you.
community. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank
Appreciate
you.
it, guys.
Yeah.
Need you.
Yeah, man.
Man, that just him talking, man, reminds me. So we shared a bunch of wins, but I'd love to share a loss with you guys. Just keep it 100 with you. The other day, actually Lev's birthday, he comes out of his bedroom, and I'm just spent. Like I'm just like, he does this every once in a while where he'll just like come out and say, I have one more thing to say. He'll come out. I have one more thing to say. He'll come out. I have one more thing to say.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
Classic.
brother, go to bed. And this last time he comes out and he says, someone at school called me stupid. And I was like, who? And he was like, everybody did. And I was like, everybody did. And he was like, yeah, everybody did. He said, my whole class said I was small. And I was like, your whole class in unison. Like, I'm like, not believing him at all. I'm like, your whole class in unison stood up with the teacher and screamed, Lev, you're small. And I was like, dude, just go back to bed. Like, I did that. And he, like, gets really upset, storms into his room, slams the door. And then Alyssa's like, what's wrong? And he's like, he said somebody, like, called him stupid. And she was like, what if they did? And I was like, oh. And so like she goes in there and like consoles him, and he's like unveiling to her, and I just felt like a lot of dad guilt in that moment, because I always want to be the dad where he feels comfortable enough to come with me to me and share those things and be able to, and never be like, oh, I'm at my end's energy and I'm like, oh, like I don't want to do this right now, you know?
Yeah.
And so luckily the next morning us three got to sit down and kind of like talk through it, remind him like who he is, his identity. I was like, dude, daddy's, people say bad stuff about daddy like all the time. Like it's all good. Like, and I was like, I just kind of laugh it off. I was like, logistically, like if it was because a second grader actually called him stupid and small, I was like, logistically, like you are smaller than that guy. Like I was like, so it's like, okay,
Physiologically.
yeah, physiologically, like you're smaller than him. And I was like, but that like stupid stuff, like you're not, obviously you're not. You make insanely good grades. You're so athletic. You're so loving. You're so kind. Like you're not that,
right.
you know. And just reminding him who he is. But then I had the opportunity to apologize to him and be like, hey, dude, last night, like daddy did like a really wrong thing. Like I should have come to you. We should have sat down, even if it wasn't like, you know, as big as maybe he was feeling. It's like I need to make sure that I'm saying, hey, these emotions matter and we need to work through those things. And so I love what he was saying about the fire alarm. I think a lot of times in our society, especially today, we're just wanting to like treat the anxiety, so to pull the batteries out of the fire alarm, we're like, now we're good, you know. And that's just not it. And so how do we like create moments and space and time to do that? So that was a little bit of an L, but it turned into a
That was
dub
good
in the long
stuff,
run.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think Brent's ready.
Brent, come on down.
We
That's
got
a- that's a
another
lot of orange.
dad.
That is a lot of orange.
I need that sweatshirt.
Jackson needs you.
You ever?
Hey, go ahead.
You ever see
Or
Step
both.
Brothers? But he's like,
Just switch it
Brendan
up.
has them.
Brent, you gotta tell me where you got that, bro.
Got it from
What's up, Brett?
Ball Shop online.
That's a lot of orange.
That is classic.
Listen,
You're gonna
It's
pop
classic
off on
and modern
camera.
at the same time.
that's kind of what I felt.
You know?
The classic.
You've
the
got the
stripes on the
stripes.
side.
Somebody
You
I
got
know.
the Nike
Somebody I
logo.
know and I'm familiar
That's
with.
right.
What's up, bro?
How you doing?
I wish we would
So
could went
Ryan,
golfing
so
this
you've
morning.
never met Ryan, correct?
I'm not.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Brent,
Hey, Brent.
good to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Well, Brent, welcome to the pod.
Thanks for having me. Long
yeah.
time listener, first time caller.
Hey.
Bro, we should do live
there.
calls. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's cute.
That'd be sweet. We gotta figure out how to do that. Can we do that?
Sure.
Like live call in?
Why not?
Some toys.
Oh shoot.
We,
Okay.
we probably have to go live on Instagram,
Good
though.
looking.
Oh, okay. Oh, we got a kid?
You want to come say hey?
Yo, Logan.
What up,
What's up,
dude?
man?
Everybody, this is Logan. Logan, you want to say hi?
Hi.
It looks like you got some stuff on your cheeks. Did you have a nice little sweet from the coffee shop?
Whole entire cinnamon
A
roll.
whole cinnamon roll?
Bro, I had one of those
Dude,
too.
you couldn't even
Hey,
finish it.
check it out.
I couldn't even finish it. Did you eat the whole thing? That's insane.
Clutch, dude.
Dude, you're
I'm
a
impressed.
beast, bro.
Jacked up on.
You have any advice that you want to give people? How am I? I'm your dad. What do you think about that?
Scale of 1 to 10.
Speechless. That's perfect.
Would you say? I would say like he's like a 7,
What do you
right?
think?
7 dad or a 10 dad?
When you think of me as your dad, how would you say? Like, am I a funny dad, a cool dad, a good dad?
Physical dad?
Am I just like strange? I don't know. What am I?
I don't know, kind of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them.
That's true.
Swiss
He's the
Army knife
best.
dad.
He's the best, right,
versatile
Logan?
dad.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right, thanks. You want to go hang out with your mom? All right, love you.
Thanks for being
See
here,
ya.
dude. Good to see you. Wow.
Thanks for joining us, Logan.
That's
He was
amazing.
truly starstruck.
Yeah. He was ready to step up
Dude,
to the
it's-
mic,
yeah, he
though.
was.
That's
It's,
funny.
That was
it's
awesome.
kind of intimidating. Like, there's 3, you're looking down 3
He was
barrels
like-
of a camera.
He like got right up to the mic and was like,
Well, you know what I think was going to happen? He was going to, like, air out your dirty laundry. And, like, checked himself. He was like,
That was so nice of him.
you know what? Not
He had some
today.
reserve.
I'm going to save that for another day. I'm going to
Mature enough to have a barrier. It's like, let's save that for home.
all right, Brent. So give us the lowdown. Give us your full name, how many kids you got, their ages.
Yeah, so I'm Brent. I've got 2 kids. Tate just turned 4 a couple days ago.
Nice.
I've got Jack. He will turn 2 in July.
That a boy.
Close
Oh,
there.
dad moment.
I thought June or July, but definitely
Look
July.
at Seth over there. Seth's like, come on, Brett. Come on.
And so yeah,
I've never seen a kid look more like their dad than Jack.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
is a spitting
Yeah.
image of you, dude.
He really does look like you.
he does. He looks like, and Tate looks just like Tate.
He's a
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
looking version of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
way better looking version.
It's Brent with blonde hair.
It literally
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Brent, what do you do for a living?
So I teach at Gay City High School.
Go Blue Devils.
Go Blue Devils.
Nice.
Coach football, and that's about it.
And most importantly, he's a Vols fan.
I
Shout
am-
out
I am
Vol
a Vols
Nation.
fan.
I couldn't tell.
I mean, just look at that. Is just
You're
You
gonna throw
tall,
off the
I
white
tall.
balance on the whole room. Anyways,
Dude, we're going to be warm.
yeah, real. I mean, yeah, it's gleaming off. It's yeah,
I wore it today because Virginia Tech,
yeah.
Penn State.
Penn State.
So
Yeah, let's not get into football. I don't have. I really bring nothing to the table when it comes to tech. So, anyways, what is the best advice or worst advice you've ever gotten as a dad or a husband?
So the best advice that I've gotten as a dad, and it's going to sound very cliche, but it's enjoying the moments. And you know, when people are telling you that when you're getting ready to have a kid, of course I'm going to enjoy the moments.
Right.
Like,
Duh.
duh.
Like, not going to.
Yeah. And then you get into the trenches of it, and it's 3 nights without sleep, and it's like, I can't wait till they sleep, or I can't wait till they talk. But trying to be mindful and bring myself back down and just enjoy those little moments because it does go quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we blink, we got a 4-year-old right
Yeah,
now.
it's
and-
insane.
and so trying to enjoy those moments and include them in the stuff that I do. Which this last year's been a little hectic with the move and remodeling a house, and Tate wants to be with me and do that stuff, and it's like no, I want to do it myself, but trying to get him in there with me and
All right,
help
hold
me
this nail
out.
gun. Go ahead.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
That kind of goes
yesterday.
back to episode 1 when we talked about
Yeah.
like including your
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Because you know it's going to take longer.
Yeah,
But at the
like,
same
I could
time,
just do it in 20
Yeah.
minutes, but now it's
it
going to take
means
an hour
so
and a half.
much to them.
Yeah.
You know?
It does.
Yeah.
Like last night, I've been painting all week, our fence, and he'll come up there with me and sit down beside me, and he's like, "Can I paint?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "All right, here's the paint." And it's like, let him slap it on there, and I go back through.
Like, I got to fix that fast before it sets.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
That's
one step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he enjoyed it, and actually today we're gonna sow some grass seeds, and
Nice.
he wants to help, so we'll see where we get grass.
Think about the seeds that you're sowing.
That's right.
In his life.
Wow.
Profound.
Hey,
Wow.
from an expertise portion of that, is this the right time to do it?
For the dads that really care about the grass.
Really though, because
Is it-
I'm trying to
I
get
got
some
some
tips
spots
here.
that need it. Not gonna lie.
Well-
I need some grass tips.
Do I need to do it now?
It takes about 21 days to germinate,
Okay.
so it's not gonna. It shouldn't frost anymore.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Okay.
we've hit that point. We're
So-
warmed up.
So I
Do
think
you work for True Green?
I don't. I do a lot of research.
It sounds like
Okay,
you.
good. This is why I asked the question.
Yeah.
So now's the
I better
time.
get on
Now
it.
I'm not in a. I don't know for sure, but
You go with a Bermuda?
no,
No. Too much fluff.
No,
That's
no,
like all
no
I know.
Bermuda. Nah,
Yeah.
Got
I
that
just-
Kentucky bluegrass.
Okay.
just got a bucket of seeds, and I'm gonna throw it out there.
Maybe we'll put in the notes or like in the
Show
comments.
notes, right? If
Yeah.
you're legit. Go ahead and check
If
out
you
the show
want green
notes.
grass,
Call Brent.
Hit up Brent.
True Green.
email Brent Tipton.
Brent.Tipton@truegreen.com.
Yes.
There's an actual Brent Tipton there. He's like, what is going on?
Yes, I'm definitely gonna hit quote.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. How is the house remodel coming?
It's good.
Yeah?
it's good. It's slow, but we've gotten most of our stuff that was in phase 1 done. I've got now that the fence is stained for the second time because I sprayed it the first time and it was awful. It looked terrible. So I had to go back and roll it. But next thing on the agenda is to roof a pergola. And Tate got him a tool set the other day for his
That's cool.
birthday, and
That's cool.
he's
locked
ready
in.
to help.
Does he have a
yeah.
belt?
He does. He has a
Okay.
little toolbox.
Does Home Depot still give out those cool little
Aprons?
Remember when we were like kids, Home Depot would give you one.
Oh,
Yeah, I think on Saturdays you can take like your kids over there.
That's right.
And
like
do
a little project,
and do like
right?
a little project
for a
workshop.
that's
house,
so
or
cool.
they'll give him an
Yeah.
apron. And, yeah,
Yeah.
The
it's
apron,
legit.
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Kind of
It's
makes you
legit.
want to go to Home Depot instead of Lowe's.
Yeah.
Should we take a vote? Because I'm
I'm
actually
a
a
Lowe's
Lowe's
guy.
guy.
I'm a Lowe's guy.
I'm a Lowe's guy, but y'all are making me want to go to Home Depot.
Yeah, I know.
It's orange.
I had like
It is
memories of
orange.
Home Depot as
From
a
a brand.
kid,
I'm a
but
Lowe's
I've
guy.
transitioned to a Lowe's guy.
Or a local hardware
The only
shop.
reason I'm a Lowe's guy
Yes.
though is because it's right near my
Yeah.
house.
You
have an A's up and down
Home
in you? We do,
Depot's
yeah.
a further drive for me, so
Or
that's
like
the
a
only
really
reason.
like hometown local hardware store.
Berries. And
Berries, yes. Berries,
Shout out
great.
to Berries.
Yeah. Shout out to Berries.
Next live episode. Berries and
Berries, dude, that'd be rad.
That's
Ace is the
awesome.
place with the
Helpful hardware.
Yeah, I'm not a hardware guy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a question I want to ask you. So you're a football coach. Okay. I don't even understand the time. Like, it's such a crazy time commitment. What is it like in season to enjoy those moments when you're just like, I mean, every day you're at the field till who knows when, and late night games, and
Yeah, it's
what's
got
it
to be.
like?
It's got to be intentional.
Yeah.
Like it's and luckily my wife she's great. Taylor's great. She spends the majority of the time with kids during football season. So I can get up, go to work 7:30, and then there's nights that I don't get home from practices until 7:30. Game nights on Friday nights I won't get home till about 2:30, 3 in the morning.
Jeez.
So usually during those practice weeks, which obviously they're not awake at 2:30 and
Yeah.
3 in the morning, but
Hopefully
during,
not.
During the, I hope not. During those nights of practice, I may just get to come in to put them to bed,
Yeah.
and so just trying to make sure that whenever I get home, I'm in a good headspace to just go in and let go of football, let go of work, and just read them a book, talk to them, pray with them, just spend time with them. And so it just has to be very intentional, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
And then weekends are the big one. Like I may golf some Saturdays, but usually Saturdays is me, the boys, and Taylor just spending time together, because it's about all we get sometimes during that week.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Whew.
Yeah.
That's a calling. Yeah, that's a calling for
It
sure.
is, yeah.
Hey, how's Gate City looking this year? What do you think?
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
But gotta keep
Put them on
working.
the spot like that.
Gotta keep working. Gotta keep
You gotta be careful what you say right there.
Everybody needs hard work, so
That's
Put some
right.
bulletin board material
Well,
for Abingdon there.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Anybody got anything else for Brent?
I will say this about Brent, because Brent is somebody who will never talk about himself or brag on himself, but Brent's a really good dude. One of my best friends that I've come to know and grow close with, him and his family. And Brent is a great dad, and you don't know this, but you really set a standard from when before I had a kid, and I would come over and hang out with you and Taylor and Tate before Jack was even born. but it was cool. We'd be hanging out, like watching football or something, and Brent would initiate bedtime and everything. Like, he would leave the party, for say, and go and read Tate a bedtime story, put him to bed. And I thought that's really cool, because sometimes you want to be able to hang out and, hang out and have a good time, watch the game, especially during a Tennessee game or whatever, but you're going back reading him a bedtime story, and we're all out there hanging out, having a good time. But that's more important to you. But little did you know is that came natural for you. But in my mind, I saw you being an awesome dad and taking the lead and being like, man, no matter what, I need to initiate those times. I need to be a leader. But just seeing you out and about, being a dad is awesome. It's inspiring. But I love you, man, and I appreciate you coming out here.
Love you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Man. Well, I don't know what else to say, bro.
I mean, that's just a little example, but Brent, Brent's a good one.
Dads out there, if we know you, if we don't, you sit in this seat. We're going to make you feel good inside, I hope.
Yeah.
We're going to try to lift you up, tell us a little something.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, Brent, thanks, buddy.
Appreciate
you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks for coming
Thanks,
out.
Brent.
Give a dad clap for Brent.
Yeah, Brent.
Yeah.
Man, you know what's crazy? We had a dad over, Alyssa's friend's dad. He's a huge fan of the podcast. He's the guy, I don't know if you guys remember, his name's Justin, that I said that he like washes dishes and listens to our podcast and laugh. So I gave him a koozie, and he was like, man, it's really cool. Like, why did you put a tree on it? And I don't know if you guys actually know why. Do you guys know why I put the evergreen tree on it?
It's gonna
Because
get
it was in our logo.
metaphorical.
I feel like it's just
Okay, did you know that evergreens are strong because of the other ones around them?
No, I didn't. Never seen an evergreen all by itself, huh?
You never do. They're always surrounded. Their roots actually
Buddy.
intertwine with one another to where they can survive the strongest of storms because of what they're surrounded with.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
Yeah.
I think it's just really cool. Like Brent, you talking about Brent, just like how important it is that you were the only dad made for this job, but you don't have to do this job alone. And it really comes with the strength of the brothers and friends around you to help you through that. I think that's super cool. And too, like even like you were watching him without a kid, but now I'm watching you with a kid. Like it's just like a super cool kind of circle that we can all learn from one
It's a
another,
cycle,
regardless of the season that we're in. But anyways, that's why there's a tree on the.
It's just like
Oh, cool.
it's something so small like that that, I think the stereotype is like, go on, we'll go ahead and get him. I'm
Go on
going
there.
to drink a beer and watch the game. But Brent's just.
I mean, if Tennessee's losing, it's probably really easy to put the kids down.
that's right.
It depends on which Tennessee shows up.
But he,
We got another dad.
you special, man.
Let's go.
LT, come on.
LT,
Hey.
the next dad. You came in.
just
You want
walked
to get a
through
drink
the door.
first? You want to get a drink first? Oh, okay. Well, park it, brother.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Get in here.
What's up, fellas?
What's up?
How are you today?
LT.
Good to see
We're
you.
live,
didn't know I
Luke
would
Tolley.
be just coming right in and sitting
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
There's no chance to warm up here.
yeah. There's really isn't. Yeah, there's
You
no.
gotta scoot closer.
Yeah, there's no batting practice. There's no warm up.
We're in the flow.
Did these
so
fellas
welcome.
already go?
Oh, everybody. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Late to the party.
Yeah. All right, Luke. So what we got right here?
Prayer before I got over here.
Name how many kids and maybe the best or worst advice you've received as a dad or a husband.
So it's dad related, right? It's a dad podcast. All right, Luke Tolley. I've got 3 kids.
Where am I?
Shout out to
Where am
Luke.
I?
He doesn't even know where he's.
he's never heard it. He didn't even know we had a podcast.
You don't listen to our podcast, do you?
Is it 4 dads?
For the dads.
For the dads. I'm gonna listen to it now.
It's okay. We
This
love you
is
anyways.
Yeah, because
Oh,
you're
it's right
on
here
it.
for the dads.
Because you're on it, you're going to listen to it.
He's only going to listen to episode 7,
Yeah,
which is the one
yeah.
that we're
Is it
recording
episode
right now.
7?
Yeah, dude.
See, Caitlin, my wife, asked me on the way over here if it was out, or I asked her, is it out already? So now that I know it is,
There you go.
check it out.
We got
Man.
you lined up.
see, I don't know if I have.
Start with kids. How many kids you got?
I got 3 kids.
Tell us your name. We don't know your name.
My name's Luke Tolley.
Is it Tolly or Tolly?
Tolley. It's some people
glad we
say
clarified.
Tully, Tully.
Tully, Tully.
It's Tolley.
Tolly.
Yeah.
Not
Sorry to
related
make it
to
confusing.
the Tolly we
Okay,
know.
I was thinking, yeah.
Not related.
Larry Tolley. There's like a Larry
No,
Tolley
no.
around here or something. I don't know. But
You got
Yeah.
beef with him?
no, I haven't met him yet.
He's on the
Yeah,
other
Larry.
side of the family tree.
He's
We
on the
don't
other
talk
side
about
of the tracks. Yeah, 3 kids. Boy, advice as a dad.
Oh, what's their ages? You gotta say their ages.
I got a 10-year-old about to be 11 in a couple weeks. I got an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old going to be 4 in a month.
Wow.
So, yeah, life is full and fun with them.
Good times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You got any advice? Best advice you've received? Maybe worst advice you've received? You were like, I'm not doing that.
I got other advice, but not dad related.
Mm.
Well, actually, no is a complete sentence. That's good.
Yeah. No
Advice
is a
says it.
complete
No
sentence.
is a complete sentence. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's great. Yeah, that is
I can
really
tell my
good.
kids no. You gotta learn to tell other people no.
No period. Yeah. That's really good.
No period.
I think the hardest thing I'm running into with our kids is Lev's really smart. He's really smart. And he knows when I'm in the room by myself, he asks me something, I'll say no, and then he's like, okay. And then Liz walks in and he goes, hey, Mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, sure. And I'm like, babe. She's like, I didn't know you communicated that. I was like, I
Right.
said no
That's so
already.
hard.
And he's just like, that was easy. Yeah. No is a complete sentence.
No is a complete sentence. Yeah. It works in many different areas of life.
How old is Ileana?
10. She'll be 11.
She's 10.
At the
Okay.
end of the
What's
month.
that? What's that like? Going into 11.
Yeah. You could see the coming storm, right? Of
Oh yeah. Welcome.
tween, teen. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
That's
you.
why I talked
So,
about
like,
having
so
a-
Ryan has a
11.
Oh, you do?
11-year-old
Yeah.
daughter.
11-year-old daughter.
And what are some of the challenges or maybe fears that you have of having a daughter that age?
Some of the challenges, fears I have having a daughter that age. Is she still going to listen to what we have to say, or is she going to think we're from another planet? And can we continue to surround her with the right people, the right voices of wisdom, knowledge, truth? You know?
Yeah. Does she have
Biblical
a good,
principles,
a
things
good
like
group, right? Like my daughter's at that age where I feel like she has her core friends, and like I'm so happy and lucky that I feel like they're really solid people.
Yeah.
That even as she grows, like I know she's gonna bump around and hit obstacles and stuff, but like I really hope that those friends are gonna help keep her centered.
Right. For us, being in transition, just having moved to the area, being here less than 2 years, that group is still forming.
Right.
But, I mean, it's being formed and constructed together. So, yeah, through church and different friends and acquaintances in the area, that group is forming for her. Yeah, absolutely.
It's that stability.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Technology's kind of scary, too. You know, she asks for a phone every day.
Practically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just
Welcome.
talked about that with the detective we had on the show, and that's one of the questions I asked him is like, I'm getting pressure from Bray every day, like, oh, my friend just came home with a phone, or like, when's the right time? You
Right.
know?
Yeah,
So
trying to
it's-
navigate
So
that.
far, we've gone up like half of a notch to where she has like an older Apple Watch that has its own phone number. So we're like, okay, listen, now we feel better because there's times now where we're like, we feel okay if we have to go make a run to Lowe's, which is like her least favorite place on earth. I'm like, okay, you can stay home. We can now reach her. She has her own phone number with it. And then she got a little, that was like us meeting in the middle. She can now call her friends and she can text, but it's almost like when we had T9. Did you have T9?
Dude, T9, let's go.
Yeah, thank you.
Dude.
Right? I mean, it was a pain in the butt,
It's
basically.
where it's like the
to
3
text.
buttons on each number, so,
so-
you had to go bump, 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 bump,
Oh,
bump,
yeah.
bump.
Oh, yeah.
It was like modern Morse
Jitterbug.
code.
Yeah, it was, right? So she has to use her watch face, so it's a real hassle to text. And she does. She figures it out because it's like how she communicates.
That's
but it's a
fantastic.
process of labor. You know what I mean? It's like labor intensive just to
Right.
text people. So we're like, I feel okay. She can send a meme here and there, but overall, she can't access the internet as a
Yeah,
whole.
we're the same way. We got Bray a watch where he can call us and text us if
Nice.
he needs
Yeah,
to, but
it's
that's
nice.
it. Like,
Dude, here's the thing that we're trying to get through is just phone etiquette with our daughter. Like, my wife literally called her to... It was like a kind of funny, almost like lazy thing. We're out front enjoying the sun, and she calls up my daughter, like, hey, can you just have your brother, I don't know, go do something real quick? She was like, okay. But she didn't even say goodbye. And my wife had to call her 3 times to be like, you need to say goodbye. Like, learn how to say, okay, goodbye. When you're on the phone.
You sound like
and
my
don't just
dad.
hang up on me.
have you ever talked to my dad on the phone?
Oh my gosh.
He's like,
Chris Bowen.
You know.
Yeah.
He's like,
Maybe we should call him right now.
Okay, I think this conversation's over.
yeah, there's no
Just
goodbye.
hung up on.
There's no goodbye.
Just ends.
Just
End.
Yeah.
When he texts you, does he do the dad at the end of the text?
What do you mean?
Like my dad will text
Dash
me.
dad?
Dash dad. I'm like, I know it's
I don't
from
know
you.
who this is from.
Yeah. I know it's from you because you're the contact dad.
Dad.
Love dad.
Here's the problem with the
Yeah.
technology, though, especially for my older daughter. There's so many things that happen throughout my day, or stuff that like jokes or inside jokes with her that I wish I could text her, like a picture. Hey, check this out, like in the middle of her school day or whatever it is.
cool.
Like,
Yeah.
but you can't.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm glad I can't, but I wish I could.
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, you're missing a little bit of the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know
Double
there's
edged.
so many things she would appreciate that I find are funny, or she would too. But
Man,
we were,
that day will come.
Me and Kayla were at Nick's Chicken last night. I know you like
Oh,
Nick's
yeah,
Chicken.
Nick's.
Yes.
Shout out to Nick's.
Yeah,
good.
shout out Nick's. And Bray was with us. It was just Bray. So all the other three were with my mom and dad. And it was just so, I don't know, it was so nice to be able to like sit at dinner and just talk to him, like just us three, because we don't ever get to do that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
talking to a 5 and 4 and 3-year-old is a lot different than talking to
It's a
a
way different
11-year-old.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're like actually having real conversations, It was just so cool.
wow, that's really cool.
And that's good advice, probably, that I've received from people, is just have those one-on-one times outside your home with just, if you have multiple children, one kid. Like my daughter, we've done a daddy-daughter dance a few years ago. We were in Springfield. This past December, I took her to see the Nutcracker, like just her and I.
cool.
So stuff like that is fun, just like
Yeah.
dad-daughter dance
That's cool.
dates, and so that she can learn, when boys come into the picture, which is scary to think about. Like, I want to be the type. Maybe this is it. I want to be the type of dad, type of guy for my daughter that when other guys come around, she can compare them to me. Like,
Yes.
do you
That's good
treat?
stuff.
Are you going
Good
to treat me
luck,
like my
boys.
dad treats me? And the etiquette and respect and things like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
strive
great.
to strive in that direction
Love
as a
that.
dad.
Me and Bray. So I had to go to Target to pick something up, and it was just me, Kayla, and Bray at the house. And so I was like, Bray, come on. So we got that. Just all I had to do was go pick something up. So it was just a 20-minute trip there and back, but we got that 20 minutes together, and like we were able to have conversations, and like his voice cracked a little bit, and I was like,
Oh boy.
what was that? I was like, is it about that time? And yeah, it's just so funny because like he's starting to. They have like classes now at school that like teach them about puberty and like what to expect, and I'm like, that's really cool because I didn't get that as a kid.
Yeah.
Like when we were getting ready to go into middle school, nobody taught us about that, and so I was like, that's actually really cool that they're teaching them
it's
this
good.
stuff.
It's good for you.
But we were able to have some conversations about that, and just I don't know, it's good.
That's awesome.
That's
man.
good.
That's awesome. How do you feel like your family's transitioning in the move? Feel like you guys have found your place, and
It's
that's a big
still
deal.
like transition within the transition. So
Yeah.
moving, from uprooting from where we were almost for 10 years, and then settling with my wife's parents for about 5-6 months, and then now in like a rental house, still looking for a home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's just a constant movement. I think it's good though. It keeps us on our toes. Yeah, but it's been good.
we got a little bounce in your step
That's
as a
right.
family. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's cool.
You've established some community while
That's
you're
right.
here, though.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. It's
Some new
it's hard
hobbies,
moving
some
around.
cycling,
Yes, that's. I was going to try to sneak that in, so I'm glad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
You been riding?
we went yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, did
yeah,
you?
a bit.
Yeah. Awesome.
He just had hip surgery and he's already riding.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
that
impressive.
Went through,
Yeah.
That went
Yep.
off without a hitch or what?
Yeah, basically.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What else?
for him,
Hip's
man.
doing good.
Without a hip?
Without a hitch? Without a hitch? I think, is that, how do I get a koozie? Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
right
yeah.
over
Yeah,
there.
they're,
Oh, fantastic.
I forgot to hand them out to our
Nice.
guests.
We are
you guys
so
can have the
sorry.
koozie. Sorry, my bad.
brought it up.
My bad.
Sorry, dads.
Look, they're having to
what's
use
the-
those
what's the-
sleeves over
You
there.
get a koozie. You get a koozie.
This is Nick's
What's the
moment.
drink of choice for LT to put in
Oh.
a koozie?
Coffee for sure. Coffee.
It's already warm.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's got one on his.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. What was
It's
I
not
gonna
a
say?
cold brew, right?
I want to buy
Can't
one
go
of
brew.
these.
Yeah, those are sick.
Yeah, those are nice.
Those
sick.
are nice. The stoneware or whatever.
I did want to talk about though from the cycling guys here, the cycling dads.
Sorry, Noah.
Sorry, Noah.
Well,
He's got a
Okay, hey,
Peloton.
yeah. Oh boy.
Who's your
Get made
coach of
fun
choice?
It's fine.
Coach of choice.
It just depends what I'm trying to accomplish, that day.
Okay, give me.
I kind of go based on the music more than
Really?
anything.
Okay, so what music you rocking?
Kind of varies. I like something upbeat, I like to get into workouts, some kind of hip hop or EDM or something like that. But
Do they play any other music besides that?
Yeah.
There's not like a
there's like
classical
some chill.
station.
There's some like chill
there?
rides
Lo-fi
and
or
stuff
something
like
That's
like
cool
that.
because
Yeah.
like each instructor has their own like vibe, and like
Right.
you can tell they
Yeah.
they have a
Okay.
certain type of music that they kind of
Yeah.
like Emma Lovewell, I
Yeah.
connect with her musically. So like I a lot of times end up taking her classes because I
Yeah.
like her music.
They're just like I like the boot camps because you get to ride and then weights and then ride. It's not like a super intense ride, but it's like convenience.
Okay.
I think it'd be cool to cycle, but it's the convenience of me having 30
yeah.
minutes to jump
Yeah.
in the garage on the
Yeah.
Peloton, jump back out. So it's not
Yeah,
like
for real cycling.
It's
takes
not like
a
I'm
long.
like this
Yes.
proud like Pelotoner. I'm all in. You know, got the shirt. I don't even have the shoes, guys.
Oh, I don't either.
I'm so
okay.
cheap. Like I don't
don't
want to
either.
buy the shoes. My
So you're
wife has
strap
them.
in. So strapping in like
So,
the,
so I just use tennis shoes and I just go on the pedals.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
can
I do the same
snap
thing.
in.
Okay.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say, I feel like a
Laughing
lot of
stock
people
over here.
that we cycle with are liars, just through
Uh-oh.
and through. Yeah. So they come up to me yesterday, and it was it was easy. It was a good ride.
We're all liars.
Cyclists are liars, and they're like, "Hey, like you want to go on a route? Super chill ride."
But
He
we're
just-
very inclusive.
chill ride.
Like we'll
At
bring
least we
anybody.
asked.
He's like,
bro.
he just had hip surgery. I'm like, okay, yeah. He just had, okay, yeah, I'll go. Luckily, Ryan let me borrow his shoes because I didn't bring any. And we went out,
He wouldn't
and
ride
we
in the
were out
darks.
for like 50 some minutes, and it was like 14 miles or something like that. I was like thinking, yeah, just around the bend and back, you know, just kind of let's get let's get a sweat going. No, these guys are locked in, dude. And they're like, hey, we're about to bomb this hill. Keep up. And they just leave me. And I'm just like, drugging along. Yeah. But, and then anybody we ride with at church, no offense, but, you know, they're all like, yeah, it's a super chill
We're just
ride.
gonna go
If
head to
it's
the top of
Edwin
this
or
hill.
Luke or
Yeah,
Will, and they're
yeah.
like, all right, keep up. We're about to climb. Okay.
that's right.
And they're just like, and I'm just like,
How far to the top? It's a chill 6 miles.
yeah.
slight.
Will is the biggest liar of them all.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
yeah, one time he invited me on a ride. He's like, yeah, lunch minute. He's like, a lunch ride. It's going to be like 30 minutes. And I didn't go, and I ran into Daniel, another one of the guys that rides with us, and I was like, hey, how was that ride? And he's like, dude, it was like 3 hours.
The best thing about Will is he has like no ego, so you believe him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. And like he talks so softly. And
Yeah.
you're like, wow, this is going to be a really great bro ride.
Yeah. Plus,
And then-
he's a guy that would never lie. Like he would never lie to you.
Right.
You know? But
And
he's
then-
lying. He's lying.
But I would say
encouraging.
what,
He's
what
so
makes,
encouraging at
what
the
makes
same
him good is like, I'll always be in the back, and he's like right beside me, going, "Man, you got." He's like,
So
I'm gonna turn,
encouraging.
He's like, "I'm gonna turn your name into Thunder Thighs in my phone."
He's like
Thunder Thighs.
he's talking normally.
Yeah,
and,
and I'm like,
we're over here.
Can't even breathe.
He's like, "How are the kids?" I'm like, "I don't care."
His heart
Don't
rate.
ask me anything
His
right
heart
now.
rate's like 100, and ours is like 180.
More tips, like
Well,
Oh, that's fantastic.
LT.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah.
Speaking of daughters and sons, I got to go get to some basketball games this morning.
nice.
Thanks for being here.
Cool,
brother.
good for you.
Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate
Have
you.
some
Thanks for
fun.
being a
Meet
good
you.
dad. Dad clap for Luke.
For the dads.
Thanks, Luke.
Appreciate you all.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for
Appreciate
the
it.
koozie.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank you.
start
Put some
tuning
coffee
in,
in that thing.
would you?
I will do it.
We need.
This
we
is
need
episode 7, right? So
This
just
is
start
7,
there.
yeah.
Just go ahead and subscribe. All
There's 6 available for you to binge.
I don't
so.
trust you though. Cyclists are liars. apparently.
Cyclists are, I'll listen to it.
Thanks, Luke.
Man, that's so good.
So, him coming off a hip surgery levels the playing field. You thought.
I thought.
You thought it would level
I
the
thought.
playing field.
But what was funny on the hill, it was kind of like a mile, just like straight,
Yeah.
like a slight grade down, and it was
Yeah.
super fun. But they kind of like take off, and they're like, you know, butts up in
We
the
get,
air,
like,
knees tucked in, like they're just like bullets, you know. And I'm like
Lance
I'm
Armstrong.
like trying to get that, you know. But then I hit a pothole. Like I just.
I thought you said
my
potholes
finger-
aren't a worry for you
I
because
thought
you
it
have the
wasn't,
gravel.
brother. Like, and nobody gave me the little point. Nobody gave me the point. Like hazard.
Hazard.
I hit this thing dead on. My finger hits one of the gears, and it drops down into the whatever that gear
Yeah,
is.
you hit a shifter and it just dropped the gear.
and
To,
so my feet are going.
he's spinning so
And I had
fast.
to like almost stop to like get everything back into control and then go. So they're like sitting at a stop sign, like, and you just see me just kind of like,
Here comes Michael
here
around the
comes
bend.
Michael. No, it was super fun. It was beautiful yesterday. I was really glad that I went. So
We shouldn't have done that to you, but that's our favorite stretch of road.
no,
Yeah,
that's
it
a
is.
sweet stretch. I just hit a pothole.
Oh,
Yeah, I just hit a pothole. Yeah,
So good.
Okay, man, we've had a lot of dads on the podcast.
know.
This
What
has
a
been
day,
super
yeah.
encouraging. Yeah,
What a day.
yeah, super encouraging. I do think. Did you want to try to get Katie on?
I think so.
Yeah. So Katie,
If y'all want to continue for a minute, I'll go.
yeah, Katie is the owner and of Maple Tree. I'd love for her to come on just to share a little bit about Maple Tree, the story of Maple Tree, and obviously some dad stories that she has. Because she's married to Kevin, the guy that was on here earlier. And so maybe some funny stories about Kevin. But we'll try to get her on. What has been the advice you've heard from someone that's like, oh, I'm going to take that with me when I go home? From one of the dads.
She has agreed.
That's tough. We
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
let's think
Just take
about it a little
seat.
bit and come back on that.
Yeah,
Table
we'll
that.
go back to that.
Hello.
It's good in.
It's a lot to
Good
unpack.
on
So
Yeah.
Hold on.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. I was like, welcome to the Dad
Nick's
Podcast.
going to make sure.
Thank you. I'm glad to be an honorary
The-
dad.
Yes.
first female
I know.
Yes,
ever.
I think you are. Yeah. Yeah.
Special.
Yeah, you probably have way more wisdom than anything we've said in 7 episodes. So, we'd love for you to just share a little bit about Maple Tree, kind of like y'all's heart for this community, what you all do, but then obviously we'll talk about some dad stuff and maybe a funny dad story that you have.
Sure, yeah. I have a great dad, so
Yeah.
I'm sure I can think of some kind of stories. But Maple Tree is all about family. So it's a venture with me and my mom and dad, and my aunt works here on Fridays, and my sister designed our logo and does our marketing and stuff. So it's a full family affair.
I love that.
And it really started as my husband and I moved back to town. I grew up here, but we had been away for several years, and we moved back. And my dad was like, "What do you want to do? Like, what do you see yourself doing here?"
What's your 5-year plan?
Yeah,
What a
pretty
dad
much.
question.
Yeah, my girls were getting ready to start school, and he was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was just thinking back to early parenthood. We were in Maryland, didn't have the family nearby, didn't have a good community that we were really close to yet because we'd only been there a year or two. And the library was the place that we went to like get out of the house, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that became our thing. You know, my girls developed a love for books, and I was like, I really want to share that with our community here in Gate City. I think there's a lot of families, a lot of young parents who, you know, need a place to go. And so my heart is really in the kids' room back there. We have story time on Fridays, and just getting to know the kids and seeing them grow their love for reading. That's our kind of our theme here, is grow your love for reading. And of course the coffee aspect of it is great too, but Dad's really
pastries
into that.
hit.
Yeah, thanks. I
The
baked
pastries were
the
insane.
pastries too.
Heard good
so
things
yeah.
about those.
First of all, I just want to say it's
Bravo.
cool. I think it's cool that your dad said that to you and asked
Yeah.
you that question.
Yeah.
You know, like what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What's your dream?
Yeah.
You know?
He's great. I mean, he's always looked out for me and my sister. He's always wanted us to like chase whatever dreams we're going after. So that he's
Awesome.
a great dad.
That's
for sure.
fantastic. Okay, we would love to hear though, maybe the most embarrassing or the funniest story about your dad growing up, or even.
Okay, I've got one.
Oh,
I've got
perfect.
one.
That was quick.
No, I had to think for just a minute.
I'm like
but-
trying to waste time, you
No,
know,
no.
like that.
I got it. So
Stop.
way back before, I mean, I'm a little older than y'all. So this is like the blizzard at 93 or whatever,
yeah.
you know, 96. I can't remember. I was little. All I know is it snowed so much that my dad took me out sledding, and we went up the hill, and he was like, "Here you go." And he pushed and he let go. And I didn't know how to bail out.
Strapped in like Mr. Griswold there.
And I was just going, and I went right into a tree, popped my teeth. My teeth were bleeding. He was freaking out. We head back to the house, but there's blood everywhere, and that's probably one of my earliest memories. And we still love to bring that up to my dad when there's a big snow. But that's one of the first things I taught my girls is how to bail out.
We all have those like traumatic incidences, right? You're like,
But that's a good dad story.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, when your girls go sledding with him, is he kind of like, now listen, ladies, this is, you know,
sledding
they
101.
They go sledding with Kev now. So
okay.
You met Kev.
Yeah, we met
earlier.
Kev, yep.
And so he's Mr. Wild. I mean, like, so.
yeah, he
he's-
runs and golfs at the same time. He's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he's a big kid himself. So they have a blast when they sled with Kevin. They build
pulling him
jumps
behind the
and,
sledges.
you know, they just like
It's good training.
do big hops off of things. And,
Yeah.
So it's a good time.
That's awesome. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
thank
I
you.
hope y'all had a good time.
we did.
And
We did.
had some good conversations and
I think we
drank
did.
some
I know,
coffee
good
and
community.
hung out.
Had some
Good
good
coffee.
conversations.
Where
Come back
Better
anytime.
coffee.
Where
yeah.
do the roasters come from?
So we get our coffee from a company called Red Rooster in Floyd, Virginia. They're a
Shout out.
Nice.
small company,
They're good.
and we can order it on a Friday, and it gets here to us the next week. So it's super fresh, and they do a great job. We get specialty single origins sometimes, and
Yeah.
my dad does a coffee class once a month. So if you're interested in learning more about
Yeah.
the ins and outs,
What's in the
different types
Tell
of
us, tell us more about
Yeah.
the coffee class for the dads. That sounds awesome.
yeah, it's a great time. So you get to taste several different types of coffee, different brews, different roasts, so light roast, dark roast, single origins, and you get to try like what's the difference between the way a shot of espresso tastes versus a cold brew versus just a regular pour over or something like that. And he goes into all the
Yeah.
different
If you're a
details
coffee
of-
nerd,
Absolutely, yeah.
sweet. That sounds cool.
That should be a dad field trip.
Yeah.
Dad field trip.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Can we, boys?
I like that.
So, where can our listeners find the shop and find you all on social media?
Yeah, we're here in downtown Gate City, 101 East Jackson Street, right at the red light as you come up the hill. And you can find us online on Instagram and Facebook at Maple Tree Bookshop or mapletreebookshop.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Love it.
much.
Thanks
well,
so
dads,
much.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
we did
Thanks,
the first
Katie.
thing, the first live one. So thanks for being here, and I'm excited to see what more happens.
I know.
Yeah,
Good luck
absolutely.
out there, dads.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good luck,
thank
dads.
you.
Good luck, dads!
Shout out
Shout out,
Fifth
Katie.
Dad Nation for
The fifth
showing
dad
up.
showed
today.
up. The fifth dad community
Yes.
showed up. Shout out to y'all,
Alright.
and we'll see you around.
Peace.
Thank you.